here we are then at Ford Market. I'm looking for records, and Millie here, my daughter, is looking for... What are you looking for, Millie?
LOL.
LOLs. There you go, there you have it.
Have a good day. Thank you.
We've got a nice look. I'm gonna have to. I've got a good.
So easy to do when you're on the road so much. It's difficult, isn't it? You can't just roll them because he's got young. He's got. You get to a stage where you can tell what that count.
Oh, it's these two cassettes.
Well, that's bad in there, not. You know that, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, it's bad, is it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I thought it was all right.
That's a rare tape, that. What's the Jerry can? That's had it for those two. Jerry can, tenner.
I'll just take the city red one. How much is that one? Right.
Alright. Tapes are expensive now. They've gone up. They're becoming quite desirable. That bad tape, that's rare actually. I'll have that here.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, everybody, thanks a lot. Have a good day.
How much for the single?
50. Don't put my good gun.
Timber Bear.
A bit late start this morning, wasn't it?
The hour. We lost
Yeah.
It's hard to get out.
Hello. Okay.
We're going back home in the car. I
Yeah.
got some sweets, we got some records.
Billy got some sweets and I found some records. So we'll show you what we got later on. Cool. Right, yes, we're back home. Millie got some sweets and she's eaten them, and obviously I can't show you those because she's eaten them. And well, this is a vinyl record channel, so we show vinyl records, and that's what I'm going to show you. Yeah, good day today actually. Some characters at the market. You never know what you're dealing with people there, how they price their stuff they're selling. Some are selling stuff cheap, some are more expensive. It really is a bit of a mix, you know. You never really know what you're walking into, really. You sort of have to sort of, you know, get a few feelers of what things cost to understand, you know, what the seller is about. Yeah, so as you probably picked up on the video, I picked up a 45 and that was Madness, It Must Be Love, which is just a great song. 50p, can't go wrong. Record is in pretty good shape. And yeah, great single. I can remember about a year or two ago, I went into my local record shop at the time, and they had every Madness 45 like in a sealed bag, like, you know, polythene bag, and each record was mint, and he only put like, I don't know, £15 for the lot, and I never brought it. And thinking back now. I should have really snapped that up. I mean, mint copies of every Madness single would have been great to have, but yeah, kind of regret not buying it like a few years later, you know, because that record shop is now gone. He's moved somewhere sort of near London, that area. Anyway, yeah, I was recording on my phone, and this is the second time it's happened. I missed out on the footage where I come into some really good stuff. I think it's where I hold my phone in a way that in its case, and I kind of hold it like this, where I go discreetly, not too obvious. And after a while of holding it, you know, the pressure can sometimes press the off button on the camera, you know, because of where the phone sits inside. So it goes off on occasion, you know, without me realising. And yeah, anyway, I come up to this stall. He had a small box of records, and someone just got in there just before I did. And you know, he was going through the records, went through like the first record and second record, and he didn't really notice the second record so well because the back was turned. You know, you could only see the back of the record. And I knew by looking down at this box that I knew what that record was, and it's something I wanted. It was a good one. Anyway, he was flicking through the records, and he picked out one or two in the middle, which I wasn't too bothered about. And then he went through the box again, and he went like 3 times in a row. He went through each record, and I was just like, is he gonna pick that one? You know, I kind of wanted to get down there and grab it, but I didn't really sort of want to be rude or too sort of aggressive. You know, I kind of wanted him to have his time there, and then I could, you know, have a go. Anyway, luckily he paid for like these 2 records, which were really cheap. What he brought, I can't remember what he brought, but they were like $2.50 each or something like that. And he got up and he eventually moved on. I was like, yes, so here we go. So yeah, I snapped that first record up, which I really wanted, and it was this U2 Joshua Tree. He said the records in this box were all doubles he had, and he was quite willing to sell the lot for 25 quid. But I picked out this one and another one, one I really wanted, and you don't get this for £2.50 anywhere. You know, this is like a £10, £15 to £20 record, depending on the condition. You know, to get this sort of near mint is not easy. You know, get it cheap. And this is sort of in the range of sort of good to very good condition. It does have like a pen mark there, but you know, I'm willing to pay that for. I mean, £2.50. I mean, it's just nothing, is it, for this record? And yeah, that was the back which was showing, which is quite recognisable. And soon as my eyes caught this picture, I knew exactly what album it was, and I had to get in there pretty quick, which I did, luckily. I'm so glad he didn't, you know, find that one. Well, I mean, he could have had it for all I know, who knows. But yeah, luckily he left that one alone. So yeah, really pleased to have that finally in my collection. Another U2 album I wanted. And I picked up this Genesis Nursery Grime. This one, I've seen it shown on the VC a few times. I hear it's a pretty good album. I'm guessing it's an early one, you know, before Phil Collins, you know, that period. So yeah, I hear it's a pretty good album. I don't know too much about it, but I mean, for £2.50, I just went with it. You know, I picked up those 2 records, paid £5. So yeah, that was a nice little find. I did go there a week before this video was shown. Picked up a few bits and pieces. Picked up these 3 records, which I paid. There was a vinyl record seller there who like travels the country selling records at fairs and stuff. Had some really good stuff. But I picked out a few smaller, I say smaller, cheaper records he had to sell it, you know, selling for. And these were, I think they were £3 each. I think it was £3 each. Was it £9 I paid? I can't remember now. Maybe less than £9. Maybe it was £6 for all I know. I can't remember. But not a lot for these records. He didn't want a lot. And that's The Heart of Chicago, which is basically Chicago Greatest Hits compilation. It's got the 2 great songs on there, If You Leave Me Now and Hard to Say I'm Sorry, of course, was one of theirs. Another good hit of theirs. Is that it? Away. I thought there was another one. Hard to Say I'm Sorry, If You Leave Me Now. Yeah, that's about as far extent as I know their hits. I'm sure there's probably 1 or 2 of them I recognise on there. But anyway, yeah, got that, which I wanted for quite some time. And that was what, £2-3, something like that. Quite reasonable. This prefab sprout from Langley Park to Memphis has the King of Rock and Roll on there, which is cool. It's the hit. I always refer them to. It's one of their best ones. This Steve Winwood Chronicles. It has the hits on there. High Love. So yeah, glad to have that. That's my 2nd album of his. I now have. I did pop into a record store. Was it this year or last year? It could have been early this year. Picked up. I think it's when I brought those tapes a little while ago. I brought that tape cassette haul. I picked up this record with those tapes, and that was another Steve Winwood. Back in the High Life. I did pay a little bit more for this. It's £8, probably more than what really I should have done, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's got Higher Love on there as well. So yeah, glad to have that. Did do a bit of eBaying and a bit of charity shopping. Start off in my charity shop find quite recently. I got this last week for £1. Yeah, £1 at a second-hand shop near my parents' place, and it's a 12-inch 45 of Charles and Eddie. Will I Lie to You? Early 90s hits for £1. The record's in pretty good condition. Doesn't look like it's had much play use. So yeah, on the Capitol label, Charles and Eddie. I think it was either 1990 or 91 this hit came out. Good song, like 90s music, always have, and yeah, on eBay I come across this 45, another 12-inch 45 of a duo I really liked as a kid. They're not like they're a bit sort of I don't really know how to describe it really, but it's basically Ant and Dec and their PJ and Duncan scene. And I was a sort of kid of the 90s, sort of growing up listening to that 90s pop. They actually should get more credit than what actually is given, because their first album had something like 7 hits of that first album they had, and Psych. I've always liked it. I still do like it now, if I'm honest. Anyway, they had this hit, which their album version was a lot different to the actual hit, and I think this is the better version. It's PJ and Duncan, Our Radio Rocks. I think it's the only bit of vinyl you can really pick up on theirs. The album was never released on vinyl, their first album, or their second or third. I would have thought maybe their first might have a chance of being on vinyl, but it never was. And this is only really anything you can get of theirs on that album. I think you can get a few sort of black label or white label singles. I think there's an odd 7-inch single you can get, their first single, which I do have a signed copy of. So yeah, a bit of a guilty pleasure. I do quite like PJ and Duncan, I have to admit. You know, it takes me back. You know, and I think that's what it is. A lot of it is taking you back in time, isn't it? Whether the music is bad or good, you know, it kind of, you know, doesn't matter if it takes you back to a certain time in your life, which you liked that music back then, even if you were a child, you didn't know any better. You know, you kind of like that nostalgia. Yeah, I also have these 45s as well, which I picked up a week or so ago. These were £1 each. I picked up Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. This one. These are the Days of Our Lives on there as well, I guess. Is that a song of theirs? Don't know. Possibly. Let's have a look. Although the sleeve is a little bit, some of these sleeves are better than others, admittedly, but these records are like mint. Yeah, these are the Days of Our Lives. This is on the second side. But yeah, these records are really, really good. That's what sort of drew me into them, really. This sleeve it tends to be better than some of the others. As this Don Henley actually looks a bit, it's in bad shape. But the record itself is like, wow, it's like mint. How has that survived so well in that shabby old sleeve? Yeah, anyway, Boys of Summer, great song. So, yeah, Boys of Summer by Don Henley. Take On Me, great song. Shabby Sleeve, by Yell Again, a fantastic record inside. So it's just, luckily it's just the sleeves which are a bit tatty, but I'm not too bothered about that. Survivor, Burning Heart from the Rocky 4 movie. Yet again, virtually unplayed record. So, you know, great stuff. And finally, Paul Simon, You Can Call Me Al, another great single. Great condition record. So, yes. 1986, wow. Yeah, good stuff. Love 80s hits. I've actually, since I've been collecting vinyl, I've been liking more and more 80s music and listening to more and more 80s music, because I haven't really sort of delved into it too much in my younger years. You know, the whole sort of synth scene and that, and it's been learning from the VC about various new wave bands and stuff, you know, like Talk Talk and, you know, Flock of Seagulls, and there's so many. Yeah, learning about that music and hearing it, you know, giving it time to listen to it, you know, I really do like it, and I kind of tend to listen to that more and more than I do a lot of other music now. I mean, I used to like the 60s. I mean, I still like the 60s, but I don't tend to listen to too many 60s now. It's more sort of 80s and onwards, you know. So my tastes are kind of drifting, you know, a decade or two, you know, down the line. But I do find I kind of drift here and there, and, you know, wherever I fancy, you know, whatever mood I'm in. And yeah, anyway, moving on. What else do we have? Anyway, eBay find. Picked this one for like, I don't know, £5, £6 on eBay. Didn't pay much. Compilation I wanted. I do have a thing for compilations. This is Level 42, Level Best. It's a good compilation to get. I think it did come out in the 80s. It's a late 80s compilation. So yeah, got all the hits on there, all the ones you need anyway. So yeah, glad to have that for so cheap. £5 is a bargain. I have this Beach Boys album, Surf's Up. I believe this is an original. It's actually a pretty good album, actually. This is Phil Flows on here. Till I Die is a really good song of theirs, Till I Die, and Surf's Up, which is just excellent song of theirs. Very, very good. I always like the song Surf's Up. So yeah, it's a good album, you know. Bit of a doesn't get enough appreciation, I don't think. You know, and yeah, their albums are very hit and miss, the Beach Boys, but this one's a good one to pick up, I think. And that is the Beach Boys' Surf's Up. It's when they started their Brother Years label, so yeah, it was after sort of Capitol, you know, that period. Picked up this album by Golden Earring, and the album is Cut. This doesn't really get shown much on the VC. Yeah, I think they're a Netherlands group, I believe. Golden Earring, and it's the single really I love, and that is Twilight Zone. I really like that song. It's a great song. So it was that song which really sort of led me to picking up the album. So yeah, glad to pick this one up. Didn't pay too much for it. It's about £10, which is pretty good really for this album. You know, that hit it's a banging hit to get. It really is a good song. This one, this was an expensive record to pick up. I shouldn't think many people, if any, on the VC would like to show this. I used to play the Sega Mega Drive as a kid. I mean, I still love that system, that games console, and it's got some of the best games I think ever made. And two of the very best games on there had this great composer. The composer is Yoshio Koshiro, I believe it's pronounced, and he was a fantastic composer for Sega. Worked on two of their very best video games, obviously Streets of Rage and this one, Shinobi, Revenge of the Shinobi. Yeah, great video game. If anyone knows the Sega Mega Drive system, they will be familiar with this video game. And yeah, I love this game. It's probably one of my favourites, certainly for that system. So yeah, a bit of a niche. It's not probably many people who show computer game records. Data Discs is a UK manufacturer. They sell these records at something like £17, and people who buy on eBay and that grab hold of them, keep them for about a year, and they sell them on for 3 times, 4 times, sometimes as much as they're actually worth. You know, these things, they're worth buying just because the resale value alone. You know, it's that kind of record which appeals to, you know, people of my age. So they're extremely popular. Obviously, with the computer game, you know, retro game scene, you know, they love all that stuff as well, being that's related to computer games. So yeah, glad to have that. And I picked up one of my favourite artists, a few of his albums, and obviously you probably guessed it's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Picked up Japanese pressings of these albums, which I love Japanese pressings, and I love Tom Petty's work, and to have Japanese pressings of his great albums is great for me. I love it. I picked up this one, Tom Petty, Long After Dark, still in its bubble wrap, I'm afraid. But as you can see, it's got his Obi in there, and yeah, I think this was a UK seller selling this, luckily. Great sounding records, Japanese. They're so quiet, you know, no sort of popping or clicks you get by UK or US records. You know, they sound great. They really are quality. This one, Let Me Up, I've Had Enough. This one as well, which is not considered his best, but I love the hit singles on here, and I like the album, and I'm glad to have a Japanese press. Yeah, I don't think it is a promo. I think there is a promo one of this is available, but I went with this one. So it's just a really nice condition one. So I'm glad to have that. I also have Hard Promises. I did pay a little bit for these. These were imported from Japan. So yeah, always make sure it's got its obi. I don't buy it if it's not got its obi. The obi just is like the, for me, it tells you it's Japanese. You know, it's what you want. You know, as a person who collects Japanese records, you want them to display as Japanese records. So it's important to have the obi. Plus, you know, if it all looks the same, it's difficult to tell what press it is without really digging the record out and having a closer look at it. So, you know, it's a clear indicator that it's a Japanese press with an obi. Makes life a lot easier, you know, in case I want to know what's what in my collection. So there you go. That is it. That's all my vinyl. You've seen it all. I hope you liked the video. Smash the like button if you did like the video. Leave comments. I will always respond to you as quickly as I can. And yeah, hope everyone is well. You know, I encourage you to make videos. You know, I love to see them. I love to hear feedback, and you know, let me know your thoughts. And yes, till next time. Next time I make a video, which won't be very long. See you later. Take care. Bye for now.